is Nally. I normally do horror games like Silent Hill and Siren Blood Curse. We're doing our favorite horror game ever that also starts with an S, Spyro the Dragon. So we will start on 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is skip a cutscene, and we're also going to ignore Nestor, which is the dragon that is in front of us. I do an old route, so we're going to be seeing a bit of weird stuff here and there, probably some stuff that people haven't seen for a very long time. But I will also do weird stuff like that, which is a fly and skip. Fly and skips are relatively newer. What you do is you actually enter the portal on a very specific frame. You look for the level name at the bottom of the pause menu, and if you are in the level itself and quit game, you just automatically load into that level and you save 30 seconds on Stone Hill. Because that loading screen is actually the longest in the game for whatever reason. Okay. So we're in the first homeworld. It's called Artisans. After Artisans, we will be going to Peacekeepers. In order to get into Peacekeepers, we need a requirement. That requirement is 10 dragons. We'll be getting 11 dragons. Because at the end of, I think, what is it? Beastmakers, there we go. At the end of Beastmakers, we need 50 dragons total. So we'll be collecting gems and dragons and eggs along the way to meet the prerequisites for the homeworlds. And we have Town Square coming up. So with the fly and skips, we actually don't need to do them for every single level. They're only for specific ones. Some of them just have really long loads. Some of them have a weird long flying animation that's in the beginning to enter into the level. And then most of them are going to be normal, if you could call them normal, which is just the generic loading screen, and then Spyro enters in with a little loop. And here I'll be doing a trick called Fairy Proxy. It only happens on certain dragons, not all of them. But it allows us to actually skip a good portion of this level. We just pop right on up, and we're at the end. But we need a couple of gems first, and a couple of dragons. So what Fairy Proxy does is you have to stand in a very specific spot. The fairy has a hitbox that actually lifts Spyro into the air, and it's a little platform that you can stand on, and you just jump on over. Relatively simple to do. And now we don't exit level here, we actually guidebook because we are hatching Nestor, the first dragon that we saw. He actually has a cutscene lock, which means we are locked into the cutscene. We can't skip it, but if we jump while hitting the platform, we're actually above that trigger. And we can just skip him and proceed to Peacekeepers, which is the second homeworld.
Are you ready to go?
Okay, so the category I'm doing actually isn't any percent, it's any percent NBS. NBS stands for No Balloonist Skip. What that means is you are actually skipping the balloonist, going out of bounds, and going to, I guess, a little debug mode room that's weirdly in out of bounds, and you just skip over to Nasty Nork's world, and you start that skip right at the beginning of Peacekeepers in this little corner. But we are not doing that. We are doing any percent NBS, which means we're going through all of the homeworlds and collecting what we need to get through the game. So I actually didn't show it at the beginning of the game, but I'm running this game on 30 FPS, which is a requirement, or more of a, you should run on 30 FPS. You can also run this game on 50 FPS. I think there's an old tale that if you run on 50 FPS, you can do, I think, one certain trick and gems fall faster. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but 30 FPS is the more optimal FPS to run on, in my opinion. So the FPS is actually important. We will be seeing an example of why it's important at the end of this level. What running on 30 FPS does is it allows Spyro to carry his jump higher and faster. I mean, higher and longer, sorry. So we can reach spots that casually we're not supposed to be able to. And while I'm doing all of this, I'm also taking note of my gem count because we need 1,200 for Peacekeepers, and that is an example of a FPS jump. You're not supposed to be able to go here. You're supposed to go all the way around the level in order to get to that little spot. Okay, so we are going into Clifftown. Clifftown also has a fly-in skip. We'll see if we get it. And we do. Look at that. Oh, I'm really happy about that. It saves a lot of time and a little bit frame perfect, so it is tricky to get down. So Clifftown also has some of these FPS jumps. Might be a little weird because if you played the original Spyro, you're probably thinking, oh, you are not supposed to be able to be here. And that is correct. You're not supposed to be able to get to a lot of these platforms, but because we're playing on 30 FPS, it helps a lot. This level can also be a little bit tricky. If you don't hit these dudes head on, they can actually hurt you. They're a little bit specific, but they're not too bad.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
We do.
We have $10 from Zik saying, who is your favorite dragon and why is it Ecdycis?
Well,
Good luck on the run, Nally. You're going to crush it.
thank you. Also, you're wrong. My favorite dragon is probably Eldred. He's my boy. Ecdycis is third. Second is Bubba. Just because his name is Bubba. Ecdycis is a good boy, though. We hatch him twice. So he gets third place. Okay, we are halfway through Peacekeepers. The next level that we're going to is actually a flight level. We haven't seen one of these yet. Little bit specific pathing. I'm gonna try and go for the tricky route. If I don't get it, that's okay, but we're gonna hope that the tricky route does us some good. And if there are any donations during this, you can read them.
There are. We have $10 from Lummy Laura saying, howdy from Texas. Hi to everyone at TwitchCon and good luck, NallyQ. Do this amazing gaming category proud. Much love from your PS1 counterpart.
Thank you.
Need any more?
Yep, you can keep going.
All right. We have $80 from Summer B saying, keep up the great work for charity. Always lovely to watch a live GDQ event. As a quick reminder for everyone, we are still going for that Pet the Cat incentive. Maybe we'll see some cat pets. We do have a few coming up, and we are getting closer to having more. Need any more?
You do one more.
Sounds good. We have $10 from Wind Bliss saying, Cat Dragon sees incentive to pet the cat. Cat Dragon donates for the incentive to pet the cat. There is a cat, so there has to be a met incentive to pet the cat. Because there's nothing more wholesome than a game that lets you pet the cat. Good luck to the runners for the rest of day one and hope everything goes smooth.
Okay, so we did the hard strat. We did it. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky because you have to take a lot of those charge drops, I guess you can call them. Very sharp turns. Sometimes you could bonk into things and you just drop directly into the water, which wastes about, I would say, a minute or so of time. Significant amount of time, but we got through it. We did it. So the next level we have here is Dr. Shemp. Dr. Shemp is the first boss that we are seeing in this run, the second boss in the game. He's just some guy with some armor. You'll see. Mostly we'll just be collecting gems, and then we'll be fighting Dr. Shemp at the end of this level. I also really like their yells. It's very nostalgic if you played the original PlayStation 1 Spyro game. Okay, and we're already at the boss. So Dr. Shemp has 3 phases. One of them, he just kind of exists and stomps at you. Yeah, there we go. The second phase, he's going to do a little twirl, and then we flame him. And then the third phase is he does a little twirl, but he just kind of holds out the stick that he's holding. There we go. All right, so we saw a lot of sand in this homeworld, which kind of makes sense. It's a sand homeworld. Now we're going to something kind of chill. We're going to Ice Cavern. It's all snow and blue and white. Probably one of my favorite levels of the game, or at least in this homeworld. They just did a very good job remastering it. It's very relaxing. And we're going to be seeing some, I would say, precise movement at the end of this. We're going to be doing something called fairy steps. I tried to do them in Clifftown, but they didn't really work out too well. But we'll be seeing, there we go. We'll be seeing them relatively soon. Also, if we miss a couple of gems here and there, that's okay. I'm sort of routing in extra gems just in case. Like I said, for this homeworld, we need about 1,200 gems to proceed to the next homeworld. After that, we need about 600 gems. 6,000 gems for the last homeworld to get into Nasty Norik's world. So we will be needing a lot of gems, but a lot of those gems are going to be collected in homeworlds 3, 4, and 5. So here's a little FPS jump, just a little extra height. And this is where fairy steps comes in. There is another strat to getting up onto this platform, which is jumping onto that rock that's to the right. But I prefer doing fairy steps. I just think it looks cool. All right, and we are at the end of this level. And now we go to Magic Crafters. For some reason, I always mix up Magic Crafters and Dreamweavers. I think both of them just have that, I don't know, magic dreamy aesthetic, which makes sense. there's three types of requirements that are in this game. One of them is a gem requirement, one of them is a dragon requirement, and the other is a dragon egg requirement. At the end of Magic Crafters, you need 5 dragon eggs. So far, I think we have 2. I kind of do this mindlessly, so I don't remember how many dragon eggs we have right now. But I know where the other ones are. One of them is actually right here. It's going to be a quick flame. There we go. And this homeworld is very cycle-based, which may or may not be a good thing depending on the route that you're doing and the tricks that you're doing. So I mentioned fly-in skips. Fly-in skips are good for skipping cutscenes and for skipping load times. Technically, I could do one here, and I could do one in the next level, but if I do them, it will actually mess up the cycles of the little platforms and gates that move up and down. And we don't want to manipulate that too much. For Alpine Ridge, it's not too bad. For high caves, in my opinion, I wouldn't fly and skip it. It just messes with the pillars a little bit too much. But this is an example of one of the really long loops that he does. I'm not sure why it's only specific levels, but Spyro's just having fun, I guess. Yeah, so everything that you could see that moves is all cycle-based. If we fly and skip any of these levels, it's gonna mess them up a little bit. Also, there's a really fun thing that happens in this level. Why we play on 30 and 50 FPS is very important. If you play, I believe, on any other higher FPS, that gate that just went down will not move. You're soft locked. They didn't fix that. So that's why we play on 30 and 50. And I just waited for that guy because if I jumped over and flamed him too quickly, the 2 chests that are to his left, or to my left, will get stuck in the air because they are just thrown up into space. Not sure why. Oh, there we go. Okay, and we're almost at the last dragon of this level. There we go. Okay, so the next level is High Caves. This one I am not going to even attempt to fly and skip. Again, it messes with the little pillars that kind of float back and forth, and I really don't want to mess anything up too much. Cool. But in this level, he also does the long loop at the very beginning, so we'll just have to wait it out. And in this level, we're actually going to see an instance of supercharges. So there's these charge ramps that are around the homeworld, around certain levels in this homeworld. It allows you to supercharge, which means you go really, really fast. That helps us with a couple of things. One of them is breaking unbreakable chests. Another one is you can actually just charge through rocket chests, which we will see at the end of this level. Neat. And right in front of us are the pillars that I was talking about. If you fly in, skip this level, this pillar right here is actually going to be all the way to the right, which kind of messes things up. Waste a little bit of time, you kind of have to wait. And yeah, just not a preferred fly and skip. Also one of my favorite dragons, Ajax. What a name. So here is a supercharge. These will also break gem chests. Cool, we got 2 of them. I'm just gonna use that. And we could just quickly leave after this little area. Cool.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
We do.
We have $2,000 from I'm Kate saying, first time seeing a GDQ in person. This rocks. And then a little smiley face.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so that was an example of a supercharge breaking an unbreakable chest. There is a way that you can kind of tap the wall there to slow yourself down to go around that wall that was in the way, but it's okay. In Wizard Peak, we're going to be seeing a lot of these supercharges. So there's 2 ways of playing this game. One of them is playing on controller. The other one is playing on keyboard and mouse. I am playing on controller because keyboard mouse feels very weird to me. It's very nauseating. The mouse turns just very sharply with the camera, and I'm just not a fan of that. So I play on controller. But the upside of playing on keyboard mouse is these supercharges are very, very easy. And all the supercharged strats are much easier as well because you can do those very sharp turns. Okay, and that is our last dragon egg that we need. So I'll be doing something called Lucas Hill. We'll see how it goes. On controller, it's very, very hard to do in my opinion, because you have to kind of tap the wall and slow yourself down. And we got halfway up. You know what? That is A-okay. So on keyboard mouse, it's a lot easier to do. You can actually supercharge all the way to the top of this hill. And it's called Lucas Hill because this is Lucas. And that is this hill. Alrighty, we have 2 levels to go. One of them is a flying level, and the other one is a boss level. So this is Crystal Flight. Crystal Flight, I'm going to be doing something very weird at the beginning, which is fly for a little bit and then charge straight down and turn right around to go through an arch. Kind of tricky to hit, but we'll see if we can do it. If there are any donations, this is a great time to do them.
There are. For our first one here, though, I have a question for you. A little bit unrelated, but kind of related. So, NallyQ, you're a horror streamer, right?
I am.
All right, so I gotta warn you, this next one's gonna be just a little bit spooky, all right?
I'm ready.
We have $150 from Boo!
How could you?
And it says, hello, gotta donate for one of my most favorite series. You are all awesome, gotta pet the cat.
Thank you so much. That was terrifying, though.
Truly terrifying, absolutely scary. As well, I guess keeping in the spirit of that, we have $50 from Ecdycis saying, pet the dragon. Let's go, GDQ. As a quick reminder during this section as well, we do have an incentive, which is petting the cat in Viewfinder. We're going to pet an adorable cat, so if you want to see more of that, we are getting closer to the 3rd of 4 pets. So you can keep those donations coming in.
Yeah, that was Crystal Flight. Okay, so now we go to the last level, which is a boss level. His name is Blowhard. He is a dude. I think he's a wizard, I'm not sure. He throws tornadoes at you. Pretty unique boss. Mostly what we're going to be doing is collecting essentially all of the gems that are in this level. A lot of them are 5 and 10 gems, so that's going to be very good for the gem requirement that we need later on. Also, this level can be a little bit rough because of the tiny green dudes. They throw electricity at you. They're not fun. Whoops. So the problem with the green dudes is if you're on a lower level and they are trying to hit you, they will automatically hit you because Spyro's height is just tall enough that if they shoot their little electric ball thing, they'll just hit you. And they can, what's it called? Can't think of the word. They can basically stun lock you. It's very annoying. But we are in the clear. So I didn't really explain it. Blowhard has 3 phases. One of them is just him standing there. One is him levitating in the air, and then the other one is this one, which that's where he throws his little tornadoes. We didn't really see it, but he threw one. It kind of just, I got lost in the wind, I suppose. Alrighty, and we are now going to Beastmakers. Beastmakers as a kid scared the life out of me. In OG, I am not sure why, but this level or homeworld design was just absolutely terrifying. It was very empty and very dark. I had no idea what I was doing, and it was a weird juxtaposition compared to all the other homeworlds, which are happy and bright and colorful. And then there's this homeworld, which is swamp. Oh, there we go. See, now that I got into horror, I learned to appreciate this homeworld a lot more. And we're entering Terrace Village. So Terrace Village is also a cycle-based level. Not too bad. The only bad thing about it is the electric floors. Those are the things that are cycle-based. All the enemies aren't too terrible. Most of what we're going to be doing is collecting gems, collecting dragons, and trying not to hit the electric platforms. People who learn any percent NDS for the first time have a little bit of trouble with this level just because some things can be very, very aggressive. This homeworld, just in general, is very aggressive in my opinion. Okay, and we're gonna see another FPS jump. This one's a little bit longer. And we got it. Oh, I did get it. Yep, so there's a lot of unbreakable chests that are here. So we have to use the rockets. We don't have a supercharge to kind of break them for us. You're probably wondering, oh, but you didn't hit the electric floor. It's those guys. They also throw electricity at you. All right, and we are at the end of this level. So the next level that we're going to is another flight level. This one is probably my favorite, solely because of the difficulty of it. And I kind of like the aesthetic of it as well. All right. I'll get that chest later. So I'll be doing something a little weird here. We're going backwards through this flight level. I kind of did it in Crystal Flight, but this one is actually, we're starting completely backwards. I'll be doing a 180-degree charge drop into this tunnel. And if there are any donations, you can beat a couple of them.
There are. First off, we have $25 from me, Jessica, saying, Spyro has the cutest little sunglasses.
He's a cool little dude.
He is. The sunglasses are nice. I like the sunglasses. We have $50 from Aura saying, no shade, Spyro looks fire. Here's to a gem of a run and an excellent GDQX.
Wonderful.
We have $35 from Ryan D saying, this is my overdue Tears of the Kingdom tax from SGDQ. Put it towards petting that cat.
Okay. So that was Wild Flight. Wild Flight was slightly rough, but we got through it. Again, that one's the more challenging, in my opinion, of flights. And we're going into one of the hardest levels of the game. A lot of new runners do not like this level. It's called Misty Bog. In my splits, I have it called Frogs, smiley face. Because if people know this level, they know the frogs can be very, very aggressive. Not only are they aggressive, but the shield guys are also aggressive. Not only them, the boars are also aggressive. And also on top of that, there's these plant enemy things. I'm not sure what they're called. I call them spuds. They're also very aggressive and they will eat you. So the first thing that we do for this level is we actually go straight to the end by jumping over the water. And then we get to one of the best dragons of the game, Bubba. So the first half of this level isn't too bad. It's just gem collecting, trying not to get hit by enemies. That's all fine and good. And then there's the second half of this level, which is a little bit rough. There's chains of enemies. If you don't hit them head on, they will hit you almost immediately. They don't really give you a chance. Okay, and here are the frogs. I don't like them. They have a smug aura. I do not appreciate them. Also, here's the spuds. Like, I don't know what else to call them. I'm not sure what their official name is, so they're spuds. Neato. Alrighty. So this next part is the hardest in this level. We call it something else, but I'm just going to call it Dante's Inferno. Cool. Solely because of this room. I'm just trying not to get hit. I lost sparks, so that is going to be awesome. I will make up those gems. So here's an example of what happens when you lose sparks. Sparks is the one that picks up the gems. He will go out of your way to pick up whatever he can in a certain radius. If you don't have sparks, it's kind of bad. You have to do everything manually that way. Thankfully, nothing is too out of the way here. and we're just gonna proceed to the end. Ooh, okay. So my last dragon was here. That's not bad. It's all good. This is what a normal Misty Bog looks like, honestly. You will die at least once or twice. Okay. So we're out of Misty Bog. Now we get into something a little bit different. Treetops. Treetops is one of my favorite levels. A lot of people don't like treetops solely because of the difficulty of it. The tricks can be a little frustrating. But we should be A-okay. There's also a weird thing that you can do at the beginning of treetops, which is a cutscene skip. It's frame perfect. We'll see if we can get it. It saves a whole 1 second if we can get it. Let's see. We got it. Sir. So there's just a little cutscene that plays in the beginning. There's a thief, and he's like, "Hey, I got a thing. Come catch me." And that is the cutscene. So this is why I really like Treetops. Treetops has the charge ramps. We can manipulate the charge ramp routes, I would say. And instead of going all the way around the level to get to certain islands and certain platforms, we can just go a very specific way and cut corners to get to islands almost immediately. All right. There's also something that you could do here, which is if you slow down enough, you can hit the chest without using the key, which saves a couple of seconds. And I think we're over gemmed right now, so I'm just gonna beeline it to the end. All right. This is the hardest supercharge of this level. Normally you would go all the way around the level to get here, but if you spin back around on the same ramp, you get double the charge. You are able to get up to this platform. If you fail it, you actually just go to the little island below that's right here. And now we go to Metalhead. Metalhead is the last level and boss of this homeworld. Metalhead can be a little rough, not because of what you think. So Metalhead isn't necessarily difficult. The problem with Metalhead is if you run into him in a specific hallway the wrong way, his AI gets a little bit funky and he can get stuck in the hallway while you proceed to the next room and do what you need to do, and then he collapses in that hallway, so you have to go all the way back to collect his gems. I'm just gonna be very careful not to hit him. The nice thing about the boss levels is they're kind of quick. Not much to do except for gem collecting and then meeting up with the boss. Whoops. know what? That chicken was good luck. Never mind, that was a bad luck chicken. Okay, so now Metalhead is in this next room. He has these electric rods that can hurt you. The thing is, you can manipulate them a bit because he throws enemies, and these enemies that he throws can actually hit the rods. And here's where he can get stuck. He kind of stuttered there. We'll see if we're okay. I think we are. But yeah, with the rods, there's a certain pattern you can destroy them in. If you don't get the pattern, that's okay. Again, he could throw enemies at you, so you can kind of trick him a little bit into hitting these rods. If you're in the right spot. That was so unlucky. Okay, so now we're all the way back at phase 1. Thankfully, I don't need to collect gems, so we just have to destroy everything. Oh, there he goes. What was that? I don't think he's gonna mess up here. But sometimes he just can do whatever he wants, I guess. Okay, let's not get hit again. That was the longest oh my gosh. Alright, so now we have to do this manually. We should be okay though. Thankfully, outside of this level, there is health. So I can just pick up a chicken or two and get sparks back. Okay, we're good on gems. So the last of this homeworld is just going to be collecting the rest of the gems that I need. I am a bit over, so I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to kind of jet on over to the balloonist. Okay, so we're in the 5th homeworld now, which is Dreamweavers. Dreamweavers is a little bit weird. You don't do much in it. You are just going to do a flight level and a boss level. We don't have to go through all the regular levels because we already have the minimum gem requirement by the end of the boss. We have all our dragons. We don't need to collect anymore. We have all our eggs. Don't need to collect any more of those. So we just kind of... Oh. My controller decided to stop working. It's all inputs. I'm not sure what happened.
All right, so we're gonna be working on some stuff real quick here. Don't worry about that. How about we read some stuff while we wait? First thing, I do want to remind everyone that we do have our viewfinder incentive still coming up.
All the controls are done?
Yeah. That's me petting the cat. Right now we're at 1,500 of, I think they actually added another one because now we have Pet the Cat, but we also have Pet the Cat, which has been included on there. So we're getting closer and closer. We have $60 from Toothpickles saying, pets, that's cats. Let's give it up for Toothpickles here. As a reminder as well, let's talk a little bit about the charity that this is all going towards, which is Able Gamers. Able Gamers does enable players with disabilities to participate in the video game worlds we love. They do quite a lot, and here are some of the things that we love about what they do. They have peer support. They have the Powered by Able Gamers program, which is community efforts that help a lot of disabled gamers. And we also have developer support, which helps out a lot of people with game development. So let's cheer for Able Gamers here. Woo! As well, Spyro has been fun to watch, so why don't we have a fun thing in Twitch chat here? How about you tell us all your favorite dragon? Maybe we can hear about some of these when we are back with the run. Personally, I liked Conan. Conan seemed like a fun name. I don't know why. Reminds me of the Barbarian. Alrighty, hope you are all excited. We are ready to go back to Spyro Reignited Trilogy with NallyQ.
All right, so we're gonna count down. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, not sure what happened. Honestly, it was either Metalhead and his little, I don't know what happened there, or I was just too quick with the balloonist menuing. Also, we're gonna try Dreamweaver's jump just for, there we go. Very, very hard FPS jump. I usually do it for good luck, so hopefully it carries on to Nasty Nork's world. But we're doing good. We're doing awesome.
I'd say as well, it's nice to get some good luck after Metalhead attacked your controller there.
He sure did. He was very upset, I guess. All right, so we're gonna be going into Icy Flight. Icy Flight is a more, I would say, relaxed flight. There are some things that you can do to go a little bit faster, but I would say it's just a casual flight. Okay, so if there are any donations for this, you can go ahead and read them.
Sounds good. Before that, though, during the little break there, I did tell everyone to tell us our favorite dragons. And we talked earlier about, I guess, Ecdycis. So what is actually your favorite dragon?
Actually, my favorite dragon. So my favorite dragon is actually Eldred. He's just an old dragon. All he says is, "Thank you for releasing me," and then just evaporates into space. And you know what? I enjoy that. I'm happy for him.
All right. Maybe we'll hear more about some of the at-home viewers or even people here's favorite dragons as well, maybe in a comment or two. But let's read some, shall we? We have $25 from Anonymous. Thank you very much, Anonymous. We also have $100 from Hunger F3. Big cheers to Hunger F3. As well, we are building up to the Pet the Cat incentive. We do like to pet cats. Personally, I like orange cats. I don't know if the cat in the game is orange, but you know what? You'll be getting some pets. I think right now we're at 3. You might get 5.
And that is Icy Flight. So now we just have one more level to go. Let's see. So I'm doing some quick calculations in my head. The total gem amount that I need is 6,000 gems. Just routing it out very quickly. I think I know what my route is going to be. Essentially, I just need to collect all the gems on the left side, and I am good. Okay, so this is Jacques. Jacques is not too bad of a boss. He's actually very neat looking. Probably one of the more unique bosses in this game. So there are 2 things that you could do here as well. That little platform is called Cake. You can either do 1 or 2 tiers. I usually do 1, just to be a little bit quicker on the platforms. It is riskier though, but the 30 FPS helps with the jumps. I might be a little overgen, but we should be okay. So this is Jacques. I think he throws presents at you. Yeah, he does. But that's his thing. He's a giver of gifts. Also, that platform has no collision. You can just go through it. And that's it. The only thing he does is run away and throw presents. Not too bad of loss. So let's see, we should have the amount. A little short, that's okay. There's gems around here that I can collect. That's 5. That should be good. Okay, so now we're in Nasty Nork's world. I wanted to do that slowly just in case it messed my controller up again. So there are 3 levels to Nasty's world. One of them is Cove, one of them is Twilight Harbor, and then the last one is Nasty Nork himself. In Cove, we're basically just going to the end of the level. If you have ever seen the original Spyro speedrun, there's a way that you can get to the end of Cove by just proxying off of an enemy. So in the same area, we can do that, not with an enemy, but we can jump onto a rock, and we can fly on the side of a cliff and sort of get to the top of it and jump over to the exit portal. The bad thing about I wouldn't say bad, the unfortunate thing about these levels is you can't just exit level, you have to use the exit portal in order for it to count as level complete. If you don't go to the exit portal, the game is like, well, you didn't do it, so I'm not gonna open the next level for you. First try, let's go. So that looked really smooth. I promise you, when you do the trick the very first time, it's honestly quite difficult. It's very, very precise. But once you get the hang of it, it's a hand feel thing, I would say, just muscle memory. The more you do it, the more you get it. And Twilight Harbor, same thing. We just need to get to the end of the level. The fastest way for us to do that is with a charge ramp. And the charge ramp is in the middle of the level. So I didn't want to go all the way around. I didn't want to deal with those enemies. Also, Ecdycis is in that crystal dragon. We're gonna leave him there. Oh. He was rude. We're gonna leave him there still. We're not hatching him. Okay, and we are at the final boss now. Okay. So we're gonna see if we can do quick keys here. First one is not so bad. Second one can be a little bit iffy. Got it. Okay, and there's Nasty Nork himself. Look at him. He's a guy. And time will be coming up relatively soon. There are 2 I guess, phases, you can call it. You just have to flame him on 2 platforms, and that is it. So this one coming up is going to be the first one. And the second one will be after the lava pits. And when I flame him the second time, that will be time. Almost there, and time. Yay! Guy got toasted. All right, and that's Spyro Reignited. Spyro the Dragon, NA% NBS.
Sorry I took so long. Almost forgot about you guys.
What about Ganasty Ganoa?
Nasty Nork is toast.
So now,
And there we go. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming out to watch Spyro. Thank you, GDQ tech team, for helping me with whatever happened. I don't even know. Thank you, Ecdycis, for being my host. And I hope everyone enjoys GDQX. It's been an amazing time.
Absolutely as well. Can we give it another round of cheers for NallyQ? What a wonderful job with that spy run. Even though Metalhead did seem to do a bit of a outside the game attack there, it was still pretty fun to go. Anyway, while we are waiting for our next game to be set up, we're going to be playing a quick break here. So don't go anywhere. everyone. We are GDQX 2023 at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Hope you've all been having a wonderful time. Before we do go into our next run, how about we hear a little bit about Frame Fatales? GDQ is proud to host Frame Fatales, a community of women and femmes interested in speedrunning, charity events, and gaming. In addition to our 2 flagship events, we have a supportive community Discord with activities year-round, including Game of the Month and randomizer events. Our next FF event is Frost Fatales 2024, running from March 3rd to the 10th. To learn more, type !FF in the chat. All right, everyone, hope you've all been doing good. Hope you've all been doing well. We've been saying quite a lot. We'll say it once again. Pet that cat. We are ready to go, I believe. Up next is Viewfinder with Bobby Berm. Annie %.